Borough Council meeting of the year, December 9th, council meeting. We could start with a moment of silence, please. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask Steve at this time to take roll.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilperson Covey.
Present.
Councilperson Demko.
Here.
Councilperson Barries. Councilperson Sarsfield. Here. Councilperson Katina. Here. Council President DeLoss.
Here.
Mayor Kabistik. Here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. If you have not received an agenda, there were copies of it at the door when you came in. There are many listed motions, which are common at the end of the year as we finish up some business and start some new business. If you have any comments to make on any of the listed motions, this is your time to do so before we act on them. So if you have any comments on the listed motions, feel free to come up and speak. There being none, we'll continue. Administration and Finance motions, Councilman Katina, please.
Motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting on November 11th, 2013.
Second. Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilperson Covey.
Yes.
Councilperson Demko.
Yes.
Councilperson Katina.
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the December bill list and bill list addendum.
Second. Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Demko.
Yes.
Councilperson Covey.
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilperson Katina.
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to advertise the 2014 Borough Council meeting schedule and the 2014 Planning Commission meeting schedule.
Second. This is not according to the...
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. Motion to advertise for the 2014 general fund budget, sewer fund budget, and liquid fuels budget.
Second.
Comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to advertise the 2014 Borough Council meeting schedule and the 2014 Planning Commission meeting schedule.
Second. Comments? I would ask if the councilman, if there's the schedule is a full 12 months, the council schedule, because there was a suggestion earlier this year that in the middle of summer it might be appropriate to take a month off.
Yes, I remember that suggestion. We haven't made that change. Would council be agreeable to that change?
I'm just asking. It came up that other municipalities have a summer recess and that we might consider such a thing.
County Council also.
To take the month of July off? Is that basically?
Any comments from the other end of the row here?
I'd love to take a month off. However, if you recall last summer, it seemed we had extra meetings instead of...
Well, we had a police, we were filling a police chief and a borough manager.
Exactly.
So hopefully things will be a lot smoother now that we've had both of those positions.
And if I'm correct, Mr. Solicitor, I mean, if there was a need for a meeting, absolute need for, you could have that meeting, you could announce that you have that meeting, correct?
I'm actually trying to think of if the statute requires you to have monthly meetings or not.
It doesn't.
Not,
Robinson,
because
other
Right.
municipalities,
Well,
no.
Rob-
I know that.
There's municipalities as well.
I was with this, Ms. Lewis.
I'll tell you what, can you table this for a couple minutes, I'll get the exact answer for you. Because I don't want to tell you you can and then find out the statute.
Okay.
And I just don't actually.
We'll table this momentarily and then come back to that. And so,
Okay, I'll move on. Motion to adopt Borough Ordinance Number 2388, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie, continuing Ordinance 981 of 1982 as amended by the Borough Ordinance 2344, providing for setting of Carnegie's Borough privilege tax for the year 2014.
Second.
comments?
Carnegie Borough's business privilege tax. You left out the word business, Mr. Katina.
That's because, I'm sorry, but that's because I'm thinking as I'm reading this that we actually need to
Set a number.
amend it. The business privilege tax, since we're going to be raising the business.
That means an
privilege tax.
advertisement. So you'd have
Well,
to
the
delete.
ordinance should have been advertised.
That it was probably advertised with the prior rate, the existing rate, and we're raising that based upon
Yes,
this.
it would need to be re-advertised.
So it's a motion.
Change for that one particular tax. it would need to be re-advertised.
So E is going to be amended to be an advertisement rather than adoption.
Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion to amend, Mr. President.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
So it would be motion to advertise Borough Ordinance Number 2388, an ordinance of Borough of Carnegie continuing ordinances 981-982 and of 1982 as amended by Borough Ordinance Number 2344, providing for setting of Carnegie Borough's business privilege tax for the year 2014.
Second.
It has to include a number. Does it have to include a number?
Yes.
We would have to.
We didn't include enough. You mean the actual advertisement, not?
The advertisement would have to.
Yeah, the actual advertisement.
This motion does not have.
No,
Okay.
no, it's going to be advertised.
Okay. All right, so the motion has been amended to be, this is 1E, to be amended to read that the motion to advertise rather than adopt. And there is a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. President, just for clarification, from my recollection, for businesses over 10 employees, we are discussing raising business privilege tax to $500.
Correct. And for less than, for 10 or less than 250, an increase of $50.
Yeah, the business privilege currently sits at $200 per business.
Per business, for all businesses regardless of size. Any further discussion? This being a motion to advertise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Borough Ordinance Number 2389, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie continuing the local tax enabling ordinance Number 806, mechanical devices, Number 808, real estate transfer, 809, earned income, Number 2279, local services as amended, Number 2284, occupation, and Number 2285 per capita for the year 2014.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Cody?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Katina? Yes. Council President DeLoss?
Yes.
Motion passes. Motion to adopt Borough Ordinance Number 2390, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie, continuing ordinance Number 2386, providing for non-owner occupied dwelling registration for 2014.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Cody?
Yes.
Councilperson Katina?
Yes.
Council President DeLoss?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to advertise Borough Ordinance number 2391, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie levying and assessing real estate taxes for general and specific purposes for the year 2014.
Second.
Mr. Solicitor, this does not include a number.
But we need to advertise a number.
Correct.
So the number that we were actually going to advertise is an increase of 0.6 mils.
That need to be included in the wording of the motion.
Not in the motion, no, but it has to be, well,
In the discussion.
it has to be in the discussion and it will be in the ordinance.
It will be in the advertisement, 0.6 mil increase over the current levy rate, which is 6.23.
Correct.
Any discussion?
Mr. President, we came to this figure based upon our budget numbers for last year. We're about $60,000 short. We probably should have, instead of lowering our millage to 6.23, a more realistic number would have been 6.33 or 6.43, because it's the equivalent of about a 0.2 shortfall, 0.2 millage of shortfall. It's about $60,000 projected for this year that we're going to be short, and about $60,000 for next year that we could potentially be short. We also received some good news this past week, and the reason, originally when we were looking at setting the millage, we were talking about a much smaller increase, obviously, 0.2, 0.3 mil increase. But we received some good news, and unfortunately the good news is tampered by some bad news that we need to increase the millage more than we anticipated. But the good news is, for Phase 2 of Carnegie Park, we were awarded $200,000. So Phase 2 of Carnegie Park will be happening. So we're very excited about that, obviously. There's been a lot of improvements to the park over the past few years. And just going up there and just seeing the smiles in people's faces at the dog park, the children in the playground area, it's just, I'm proud to be part of that, and proud to be a small part of that. And that's a matching grant, so we need to come up with basically about, from what our engineer is telling us, about $160,000 next year in 2014 we need to budget for. And the matching grant, like I said, is about $199,000. So we'll have to come up with the full amount over probably a 3-year period, but it looks like the bulk of it is unfortunately going to need to be front-loaded. And hopefully over the next few weeks, we're just advertising at this point in time. This isn't anything official. We're going to have another meeting tentatively scheduled for December 26th to come back and adopt the budgets. That means that these numbers could in fact change. They might go down, they might go up. Hopefully, once we get another week or two of numbers coming in, we should have a much clearer picture of what our shortfall actually is for the year. Right now, where it stands, it's about $60,000. But I believe that we should be anywhere between 40 and 50,000 is what I'm projecting we're going to be short. A few nice checks though might change that. If we get a big check for delinquent real estate tax, or if we get a large check for earned income tax, or if we still get a bit large check on current year collections for real estate tax. So these numbers very well could change. But the other thing that I just wanted to make everyone aware of, these numbers also include current staffing levels. Public Works basically will remain at the same level of staffing. Administration, we're bringing in another administrative position, so there's always been 2 positions in administration under reporting to Steve. And about a year or 2 ago, we brought back the 13th police officer. And the 13th police officer is something that, at that point in time, I heavily supported. And to this day, I heavily support the 13th police officer. And it's just, I realize that people can only afford so many taxes, but I'm not willing to cut public safety in order to compromise that. If we could reduce it possibly by $1 or $2 by cutting that position, by cutting that 13th police officer position. But the people I've spoken to over the past month or two, and this has been a very difficult decision because I came in here saying I'm not going to raise taxes. I'm going to do my very best not to raise taxes, and that 13th officer is something that I think we need. And all the residents that I've spoke to said if you're going to cut anything, don't cut the 13th officer. Especially, I live obviously near the top, near Carnegie Towers, and so I get to see the police a little more often than probably the rest of you, and my neighbors do as well. So we thoroughly enjoy having the peace of mind of having that 13th officer, and I think it's a benefit for the entire community, especially with the direction that we're going over the next few years. Carnegie is only getting bigger and brighter. Obviously, the business district is growing. Hopefully, when the business district's growing, the park's growing, we'll hopefully get some more families in here over time. And things are only looking up for Carnegie at this point in time. I understand that it's a high increase. I pay taxes just like the rest of you, and I don't want to increase my taxes any more than I need to. But this is something I built personally. I'm not speaking for the rest of the council. I'm speaking for Pat Katina. This is something I believe needs done this year. So, thank you, Mr.
Pat,
President.
if I may say, Mr. Councilman, that I agree with you, that you know how I feel about public safety. And I want the 13th officer, so I also agree with you. So you're not just speaking for you. So thank you.
Other comments?
No, I concur with Pat and Carol. From when Pat first got on council, him looked at the budget each year and said, when the money was there, let's hire a 13th officer. We did that. I think not to continue, and that is a move backwards. We're progressive now. More and more businesses are wanting to become our town's attractive to people, and public safety is a key part of that. If we can't protect our businesses and protect our residents, we're not doing our job.
Councilman Katina, from my math, based on the average homeowner in Carnegie, this 0.6 increase would be $46 per year. Does that sound correct?
Because we figure the average assessed home in Carnegie is about approximately $77,000 is what the average is. And if you just do the math quickly on we'll just say $100,000, right now our current tax rate is 6.23, so increasing it basically another 0.6 of a mil brings it up to 693.
Okay. 683.
I'm sorry, sir. Yeah. People whisper into as our solicitor whispers into my ear about the other motion that we still have outstanding.
Yes. Okay. I would add just one comment. Chairs are not supposed to comment, but I would like to comment that I think council in the past, including councils before us, have done a pretty decent job of keeping the line on taxes. I went back and checked over a 10-year period, the last 10-year period, and our borough real estate tax has been lower than the rate of inflation consistently. In fact, that typically, as you know, it stays the same for several years in a row, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row, it stays the same. And how do you manage that? How does the borough manage that? Because obviously the borough does have inflationary costs, gasoline, health insurance, asphalt, pension contributions, et cetera, and even those small inflationary increases we give in wages. Where does that money come from when we keep your tax levy the same for 5 years in a row? It comes from cutting things. That's how you do it, you cut things. And that's what we do. So I would, in my math over the past 10 years has indicated that tax increases here in the borough, I can't speak of course for the state or federal government or any other agency, but for here in the borough, your tax increases on your real estate have been about half the rate of inflation. And last year we reduced the tax rate from 7.2 to 6.23. We reduced it a little too much, actually, by about 0.2, as Councilman Katina referred to. So the increase this year at 0.6, $46, technically would be actually about $20 that we cut too much last year, and another $26 additional for this year. So that's a little bit of an explanation of where that number comes from. But none of us want to raise taxes, of course, but there are inflationary increases that we have to deal with, and this is how you do that. Any other discussion items? A roll call vote, please. Oh, actually, this is an advertisement. This is, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt ordinance number 2013-11, a resolution of the Borough of Carnegie authorizing the issuance of a tax and revenue anticipation note series 2014.
Second.
Comments?
This is our, Mr. President, this is our TAN loan, or tax anticipation note, that basically, it's a bridge note. Our real estate taxes don't typically come in until August, so we need to borrow about $1 million to get us through the year at that point for obviously payroll and general expenses. So that's what the TAN loan is that you hear us talking about, a tax anticipation note.
Thank you. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to permit the borough manager to execute an agreement between On-Demand Energy Solutions and the Borough of Carnegie to purchase electrical generation service for the borough building and the borough-owned properties/facilities.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, I didn't comment on that last motion. I was looking at the audience and I'm seeing some faces as to why exactly we're doing that. So can I go back and just provide a brief explanation?
I'll allow you this one time to do that.
Currently, we're with Triangle Energy, or with the deregulation of electrical suppliers and public utilities, we could choose basically who our supplier can be. And a few years ago, to save money, we changed suppliers down from, I was Duquesne Lane, to Tri-Eagle Energy. Over the past few years, that rate has actually gone up and other rates have gone down. So right now, we're going with another supplier to provide our energy. And the rate is, you knew I was probably going to ask you this.
It's below 6. We're currently above 6.
Okay, so it'll be a nice bit of savings that hopefully we'll be able to apply that back to the budget. So that's what that is. And if for obviously your residential services, you can go on PA1 switch on the internet and you can actually see what different providers are charging for electrical service. So if you haven't done that, go out there and take a look because you might be paying too much. I know I stayed with I switched to when the borough switched to Tri-Eagle, and Tri-Eagle was actually 9-something currently. So I had to switch mine to get the lower rate as well. So you might want to just take a look at that. So thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. I think we're up to K.
Motion to advertise a special meeting to take place on December 26, 2013 at 6 p.m. to finalize and adopt the general fund, sewer fund, and liquid fuels budgets for 2014.
Second.
No, Thursday.
23rd.
26th, and Monday would be the 30th. Thursday, the 26th is the day. Comments?
Just a comment, this meeting is to finalize our numbers for the budget. But this year we will be having a new council member. So if there's a need, we could reopen the budget in January to leave it open until February. If the new council member perhaps had some suggestions or ideas that might change some numbers.
Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So, to go back to motion 1D, our solicitor tells me that apparently other municipalities are in violation of state law.
No, it's not if they're not boroughs.
Only boroughs.
Oh, I'm sorry, only boroughs are in violation of state law by only having less than 12 meetings. So,
Well, that's not right there.
But
I'm just teasing.
not to interrupt, but I think what essentially they do, and I think this is what county council does, is they actually have an extra meeting in July, or an extra meeting in June, and an extra meeting in July, and then recess in August. So essentially, they do have,
This is worded,
12
Councilman.
meetings.
This is in the borough code, and it says once a month.
This is
Once a month.
It shall be the duty of borough council to meet statedly once a month.
Well, that's
County,
true, but we
it's our
actually do have
township,
2 a
it's
month,
a
which are
borough.
not workshops.
Yeah, you only have to meet once a month. You can cut the workshop out.
President Delisle.
well, then
Yes.
it would be
May I
involved.
offer a suggestion?
Certainly.
I should introduce our newest council member-elect, Mr. Phil Boyd. He will be taking a seat up here in January. Normally, we wouldn't entertain comments from the audience here at this time, but I will let him interject, be his first official interjection.
The only suggestion that I have comes from experience I had meeting a council person from another community that's aware of the borough code that requires a monthly meeting. They changed their July and August meeting dates such that they meet the first week of July and the last week of August, and that meets the requirement of a monthly meeting and also sets up for a long pause. For that suggestion.
Something to think about. Thank you, Phil.
Very good.
Thank you. Is that would create a situation where if we had one at the end of August, you'd be turning right around meeting at the beginning of September?
You could have meetings back to back.
Yeah, I think there's a point in that.
You can still do it like that. Like 3 weeks. Thank you.
Well, since we have to meet monthly, do we have to decide this now?
Well, yeah, because we have to have.
We have to advertise the
But it's
dates.
gonna be, the dates, okay.
I say leave it alone.
Me too.
I got 2 leave it alone.
I'd like the little extra.
I withdraw.
See us having time.
Mr. President, can I withdraw the motion?
And leave it until, withdraw the motion to
Withdraw the motion to,
altogether?
withdraw the motion on a bit together and advertise at the
December 26th meeting.
Oh, let me ask you this, Mr. President, too. Instead of withdrawing the motion, if we make the motion, we can just discuss it on this September 26th meeting and advertise then. This doesn't say we have to advertise immediately, right? Just sometime in the month of December, we have to advertise.
Yeah, we could pass the motion to advertise, but not do the advertisement until the end of the month.
And discuss it then, if you want to discuss
That's a
it.
good suggestion, Mayor, thank you. Okay, so we have a motion to advertise the meeting schedule. This is 1D. And we had a second. Any further comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Councilman Katina. We'll move on. We have no motions for code enforcement. Public Works, Councilman Demko, please.
Motion to approve payment to A. Felino Construction, Inc. in the amount of $109,052.26 for the 2013 Pavement Maintenance Program Contract 2013-1 for work completed through November 20th of 2013.
Second.
Do we know, Councilman, if this is the last payment for this contractor for the year? Because it is December now.
Steve, I don't
There should be one more payment coming.
Yes. In the beginning of January?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. President, I believe this is third and final payment because at the meeting, they were talking about only taking the 5% to cover the bond.
And that's where I would get my last payment from.
Retainage.
Correct.
I think that's what Kale Lynch said.
Yeah, at last Monday's meeting.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second to approve this payment. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilperson Covey.
Yes.
Councilperson Demko.
Yes.
Councilperson Katina.
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve payment to State Pipe Services, Inc. in the amount of $32,364.60 for the 2013-3B relining the sanitary sewer repair contract for work completed between October 14th, 2013 and November 6th, 2013.
Second.
Comments?
That definitely will be the last payment. Let's see.
If there's no comments, roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Demko.
Yes.
Councilperson Covey.
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilperson Katina.
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve payment to Scaife Excavating in the amount of $2,683.50 for demolition work completed through December 1st, 2013 on 12 3rd Street, 102-C-335.
Second.
This is the property formerly known as Bucci Apartments.
It's-
Any comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Demko.
Yes.
Councilperson Covey.
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilperson Katina.
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Now, motion D is different from what is on the sheets that everybody has. We had to change it. So yours will be different than what I'm reading. Motion to offer employment to Thomas Cranmer in a probation status at a pay rate of $22.67 for a period of 90 days and upon successful completion thereof. Full-time employment subject.
It's not the right number.
That's not the right pay, that's not the right number. It's at 70% for the first 90 days, right?
Not to exceed $22.67.
Well, the 2267 is 90%. Could we just,
At the
we
probation.
could just say, we could say according to the labor agreement, the probationary rate in the labor agreement.
Probationary pay rate. Well, we have the labor agreement done. Hold on. Probationary status at a pay rate of,
In accordance with the labor agreement.
in accordance with the labor agreement for a period of 90 days and upon successful completion thereof, full-time employment subject to the collective bargaining agreement with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
Second.
Discussion, comments? Councilman, would you like to comment at all on this hire?
I would like Keith to comment on the hire, the new hire.
Well, as recently we had a mechanic working in-house and he just wouldn't move on to something better for him. So we needed an in-house mechanic to keep up on our equipment, especially in the wintertime. So that's the new hire, is a little lost a mechanic, replacement.
Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield.
Yes. Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLusk.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Public safety motion, Councilman Sarsfield, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I only have one motion this evening. Motion A, motion to adopt a resolution number 2013-10, a resolution of the Borough of Carnegie establishing a handicap parking space near 602 Fifth Avenue.
Second.
Comments? Being no comments, roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield? Yes. Councilperson Covey?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Katina?
Yes.
Council President DeLusk.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Councilman Veers is absent this evening, so I'll ask Councilman Covey to read the motions under item 5.
Thank you, President Laws. Motion to appoint Susan Marshall and Connie Zychek-Wood to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term of 3 years, expiring December 31st, 2016.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Covey?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield? Yes. Councilperson Katina?
Yes.
Council President DeLusk.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to ratify. I'm
May I just
sorry.
ask a quick question? Mr. Solicitor, if it's a roll call vote, then why would both people be under the same motion?
I think they can be, it'd be up to council to ask to separate them.
Somebody wanted to separate them
Okay.
out, yeah.
Not that I have anything against either people, I was just
Yeah, that don't
curious.
have to be.
I was just curious that, because you have two people in here and you're doing a roll call vote.
Motion B.
Thank you. Motion to ratify the decision of the Planning Commission recommending to council the lot subdivision for Mr. Rafael Apicella located at 503 Fifth Avenue, 102-B-351.
Second.
Comments?
Yeah, Mr. Apicella is here. This has been a long, enduring process for all of us.
Mr. Apicella, maybe should we table this motion, do you think?
This actually started 2 months when I first got on council. I sit 7 years later and we're successful, right? Right? Okay, so everybody's happy now and progress to be made.
There's no further comments, I'll ask for roll call vote.
Thank you. Councilperson Covey?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield? Let me think about this for a minute. Yes. Councilperson Katina?
I don't know, I haven't decided. I need some more time, I think, Mr. Apicella. Yes.
And lastly, Council President DeLusk.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to authorize the borough manager to advertise a request or proposal for a municipal wayfinding program to receive bids with specifications from KMA Designs. This is a joint project between Carnegie Borough and the Carnegie Community Development Corporation for a combined total of $120,000. $120, I'll pay for it. And if I could just add one thing, I am on this committee, and Joanne and everyone has worked very hard, and it's going to be a wonderful project. So keep your eyes and ears open. It's going to be beautiful.
I need a second on this motion,
Second.
please. Second by Councilman Demko.
Just a quick note on it should be request for proposal, not request or proposal.
Oh,
Very minor.
request
Just a
for
typo, but just.
a proposal.
This project actually got underway last summer, earlier in spring even, requests for some better signage in town, how to get to various places. And there was a request by both residents and by our CDC to have better signage. not just welcoming people into town, but helping them find their way in town once they got here. Are there any other comments regarding this? Request advertisement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time then, committee reports. We'll start with Administration and Finance. Councilman Katina, please.
Nothing to report, Mr. President. I think I said it all in my...
We've talked a lot this evening.
Yes, in my short discussion.
Councilman Kobe, anything for code enforcement?
We have nothing to report this evening, President DeLoss, although twice you've called Sue and I both councilmen. Yes, sir.
All right, I apologize for...
Respectfully.
So knock it off.
I can't.
Yeah.
Let's go with council
We'll wait
members.
for you in the parking lot.
Council member. Public Works, Councilman Demko.
I have no report, but I would like Keith to discuss the leaf pickup.
Yeah, I apologize to our leaf pickups this year. We were way behind. We had 2 machines and both of them broke down on us. So we were way behind on these. I know some people waited 2, 3, 4 weeks. We had to borrow a machine off another township to catch up, and we'll still be getting the leaves probably till the end of next week. So if you have them from out there, just call us. We'll still come and get them. Thank you.
Anything else, nothing? Skate park?
I'm also going to do that. Would welcome, want me to do it now?
Yeah.
The skate park is coming along, they're working hard. I think we're going to push back a little bit because of the weather, but they actually had the guys last week that are building the skate park skate the bowls last week. It was unbelievable. And they said it's the nicest skate park that they have ever built and ever seen. You know, I mean, there are a lot of young guys, but they skated, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta go up and see them skate. Up and catch them while they're working and tell them when they're finished, you wanna see them skate.
I want to see Pat skate.
So are they gonna work, they wanna work through December?
Me too.
Well, they're gonna help for Christmas, and then they'll be back depending on the weather. So,
So if they don't get all the concrete work done,
Right.
they may just suspend for
Definitely,
January,
yes.
February. That's it?
that's it.
Community Development, Councilman Veras is not here. If anybody has anything that they would want to comment in that regard, I'm sorry, thank you. Public Safety, Councilman Sargent.
I just thought he was misbehaved. I have nothing really to report other than haven't received I don't know if Mr. Boyd has any numbers for us as far as the fire department, but I do want to remind everybody that police officers, firefighters, medics, as well as doctors, nurses, they don't really have a holiday. Their holiday is serving people. And, you know, I just want to extend a thanks to our police officers and firefighters, all those people, and even Public Works. I mean, if it starts snowing Christmas Eve, they got to get in their trucks and they got to go out and they got to plow our streets so that we can move about safely. And a lot of times we don't think about it. We're at home doing whatever we do, sitting by the fireplace or joining company. But these people give us our safety and they allow us to be able to do what we do. So I want to thank them for their service, and throughout this holiday season, if you see a police officer, fireman, or medic, Public Works guy, thank them for what they do for us. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. For my comments tonight, I just want to mention that we have one councilman whose term is ending. That councilman is not here this evening. He had a personal family conflict that prevented him from being here. Councilman Veras has served for 4 years on council, and it takes a lot of work to be a member of council. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and we appreciate his service to the borough. It's, being a council member is one of those things where most of the residents don't see what you do. But things happen every week, every day of the week that will call you into service, and you're expected to step up to that. And it's greatly appreciated, the work that Councilman Beers did for the borough. And it's unfortunate he's not here this evening for us to tell him that. But we will have a new council member to fill that seat, Mr. Phil Boyd, who you already met, in the 1st Ward. Also lives in Roslyn Heights. And Phil is going to be an excellent addition to council. He's a retired businessman, very good financial skills, business acumen, smart guy. It's going to be a nice addition. We're looking forward to you being here, Phil. That's all I have for this evening. Is there anyone here from the fire department to represent the fire department?
That would be me.
Speak of the devil.
The number of fire calls for the fire department itself was 22 fire calls, and EMS answered 198 calls in November.
Thank
And
you.
the numbers I gave you for last month in October were finally ratified, and they were accurate as given.
Okay, thank you. Junior counsel?
The St. Patrona Sisterhood will have their annual cookie walk on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at St. Peter and Paul Ukrainian Orthodox Church, which are the gold domes located on Mansfield Avenue across from Bob's Diner.
That's what day?
On Saturday,
Saturday from,
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
thank you.
Get in line early.
Right.
Bishop Cannon's sponsor choirs.
You speak in the microphone, please.
Bishop Cannon's sponsor choirs performing at Christmas in the courtyard on Wednesday, the 18th of December. And then Carnegie Performing Arts Center has their annual Nutcracker Ballet, the show for all ages to enjoy. It was this past weekend. It was also this Friday the 15th, Saturday the 16th, and Sunday the 17th. And out in Florida.
Are you in the show?
Yeah.
All right.
Nutcracker Friday, Saturday, Sunday this weekend.
Yeah.
And what was the first item you mentioned?
Cannon's Christmas in the courtyard.
Christmas in the court.
Is that in Allegheny County's courtyard? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At school.
Oh, it's at the school. Okay.
And that is when?
The 18th.
What time? What time? That's a Wednesday? Okay.
Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The Carnegie Police Department numbers for November 2013, criminal arrests number 29, parking tickets 88, traffic citations were 43, complaints and self-initiated activity were numbered at 826. And just so you know, I read those numbers out every month because under the Borough Code, those have to be reported to council at a public meeting. So it kind of gets monotonous and the numbers don't mean a lot to a lot of people, but it has to be reported under the Borough Code. So. The Carnegie Police Department has a new Facebook page, and if you'd like to like it, it would be a great help. We recently used this Facebook page to help solve a crime. There was a theft at the Don, and the theft was caught on video. We put the video on Facebook, and within less than 24 hours, we had somebody identify the perpetrator. So we were able to identify the person who stole the money at Don's. There also, we have another incident where there was a Christmas package stolen at the Hill Group. And that is also on video. We are currently trying to get upgrade the video so that it's, very, so that you can determine what, the quality of it, or should the quality is better. And then once that quality is better, we're going to put that on Facebook too. So anybody who wants to like the Facebook page, please do so. I want to thank Chief Kennedy for being progressive and taking this to the level that it has been. And I also want to thank Sergeant Lee for developing the Facebook page. And I think it's a nice addition to the department. Also, the police department participated in a basketball game, as you know. It was versus the Carnegie Elementary teachers. They raised over $800 for the schools, for the school's anti-bullying program. And I want to once again thank the chief for his hard work. It was his idea, and it was nice to see the game come to fruition. I want to thank the school for all their help, and there were a number of businesses that donated prizes, Little Caesars, AMF Lanes, Family Video, and Subway, and I want to thank all them too for their donations.
Nice.
Chief, yeah, the police department won.
We also want to
That's
thank
because you had
Mrs.
officer
Chief
seat.
for having her nose broken when she was hit by a ball. Mrs. Chief,
She gets MVP.
she gets
Yes.
MVP. She had 2 black eyes and a swollen nose, and I cried for the poor girl.
What about Steve?
Oh, Steve, Steve was the star.
The medal was one shot of the night.
And actually, one basket went in the basket of my scooter, and I said to the officer, Tim, there's the basket, not this one. And then the referee picked it up and handed it to me and said, could you inspect this? I'm like, what am I looking for? I went, yeah, looks good to me, there you go. So that's why you probably won. Defective ball, but anyway.
It was definitely a fun time. I think everybody enjoyed it. So, and this is our second year that we're in the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. We received a grant for about $400,000, $368,000 to be exact, for after-school programming, and it's housed at Carnegie Elementary. And we've been servicing about 80 students there, which is great. I just wanted to put out a call now, if anybody who is interested in any organization, nonprofit, or individual that has a special skill or an interest and would like to share that with the after-school children. We're looking for individuals to provide additional programming for the students. So, and if you don't have to worry about any of your credentials, because they'll pay for all your credentials, your Act 33, 34, and any other criminal background checks, things that you would need to work with the students. So that's all paid for by the program. So if you know of anyone, please point them either in my direction or Mrs. Lee Myford's direction up at the school. I want to send a special thank you to the students and the faculty at Carnegie Elementary. They collected over 1,000 food items for the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Food Bank. It was almost a whole box truck full. So it was very nice to see the kids and the faculty working together to provide food for the underprivileged. So that was nice of them. Well, Toys for Tots, we're in the middle of Toys for Tots, so if anybody is interested in donating a toy for the Marines Toys for Tots, we are a center here at the Borough building. And so please bring an unwrapped toy down and try to do it before the middle of December, because I think they have a pickup somewhere in the middle of December. So, like to let everybody know that the Carnegie Volunteer Fire Department is selling Christmas trees as a fundraiser. Every year they do this, the Christmas tree fundraiser. It's they will sell out, but if you need a Christmas tree, that's one of the best places to go to get your Christmas trees right there. Helps out our fire department.
We deliver locally for free.
Yeah, that's right, they do deliver. Yes, you do.
They do, they brought mine up.
You're gonna block the street.
Don't start.
Okay, we won't even go there. All right, here's something interesting. I see we have Miss Maggie Forbes in the audience here, but our library made the November 16th edition of the Norfolk Daily News in Nebraska. I actually, well, wait, that's actually a city, so it's not as small as you think it is. I have a copy of it here, and I'd like to share some of the information. It's the Historical Society.
They sent it to us.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what happened was is the lady was here in Pittsburgh, and they were doing, she wanted, since she was here in Pittsburgh, she wanted to do the reporter, she wanted to do a story on the Carnegie libraries, because they used to have a Carnegie library in Norfolk, but they have, now it is now a business.
Repurposed it, yes.
Yeah, they repurposed it. So, and it was when the library first started, it was a grant from the Carnegie Foundation of $10,000, and they had to match it, or $9,000, and they had to match it. So what I would like to read here is just a little tidbit of it. It'll only take a second. They came to Pittsburgh, and stops were made at the Senator John Heinz History Center, the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, the Carnegie Museum of Art, and the Andrew Carnegie Free Library and Music Hall in nearby Carnegie, the only town named after Andrew Carnegie. Maggie Forbes, executive director of the 35,000 square foot Andrew Carnegie Free Library, said, "The Carnegie libraries were a phenomenal gift which transformed the world." And there's a little bit more in there too, but I just thought that was a nice tidbit and very nice.
And there's reports of people from Norfolk, Nebraska coming to see us. So.
You never know.
Get ready, Main Street.
They seem very impressed, so. I just wanted to let it, and then if you're ever excited about your library, like most of us are, they are having a huge fundraiser at the end of the month. It's December 28th, and it's Lenore Nemitz. She brings Broadway here to Carnegie. She's an excellent singer, and I've heard a lot about her, so if you want tickets, you can go right onto the website and get your tickets for there's two-tier tickets. There's the $125 ticket and the $75 ticket, so whatever fits your budget. And then if you can't come, you can always make a donation. I want to thank the members of Saints Peter's and Paul Ukrainian Orthodox Church and Solid Rock Foundation Ministries. Both those churches provided Thanksgiving dinners on Thanksgiving Day, and they did a fabulous job. You could eat in or you could get takeout. So it was a lot of hard work. A lot of people gave up a lot of time, so I really appreciate that. You already heard about the Cookie Walk. Well, let me tell you, right near the Cookie Walk, we have the Blue Domes, the Holy Virgin Russian Orthodox Church. And every year at the same time, they have their Russian Food Festival, which is absolutely awesome. It runs from 10 to 5 on December 14th. If you really like some good Russian food, stop there. And hopefully they'll have the borscht with the good beet stock this year. I love that. So anyway. That's it. And lastly, I do want to thank, I know he's not here, but I did want to thank Bob Veers for his service and his hard work. It is a lot of effort, so I appreciate his time and his service. So I will thank him personally, of course, but I was hoping to do it here. So.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, if anyone would like to make comments, this is your time to do so. Please, you're welcome to step up to the microphone, state your name, please, and where you're from.
I don't think it's working.
Didn't sound like
It isn't working.
It's not working.
It wasn't their fault. No, I'm Maggie Forbes. I'm the executive director of the Library of Music Hall. And thank you, Jack, for the comments. And I just wanted to say, in addition to our big annual Litzy fundraiser, which will be wonderful and a fabulous party afterwards, we have 3 of them on January 4th. It's a holiday concert after the holidays, where it's a little less busy. And it's being organized by Becky Toth. Many of you know her from Stage 62. She's really, I would say, their signature performer. And it's all professional music teachers and musicians who just love sharing the gift of music. And so that's at 4 o'clock on Saturday, January 4th. And I
Is this a surprise birthday party for me? Tell
Yes.
the truth. I knew it.
I know, is that your birthday? Well, there, I got you got, okay, yes, we planned this for Carol. And just listening to all this, I just wanted to say thank you to council, to the borough, Public Works. You know, I'm always up here pushing the library and asking you for things like money. But I just wanted to say thank you. And Rick, you said it very eloquently, and it was echoed by Jack, for all that council does. It's an incredibly difficult job, and I know sometimes you're in the crosshairs and the hours you put in. But as somebody who does not live in this wonderful community, just feels like I live here, it's just a joy to be part of them all, and you, as well as everybody of the community, makes it a very special place. So thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Thanks.
mic should be working now.
Big up there.
Oh, nice. I'm so used to the mic. The first thing I want to do is thank you very much for allowing me to entertain at the tree lighting ceremony Friday night. It was wonderful seeing those little kids all light up. It was really heartwarming.
Oh,
And seeing
Samantha.
Carol with her little thing going all over the place, ordering everybody around was really spectacular.
I order people around well. Oh, Samantha, I want to thank you, and it's just a shame the evening was so bad, because I would have had you up there doing 2 or 3 numbers with the children, but it was so cold, and with your broken foot, and
It's
the
all
snow coming down, so.
Well, I appreciated it. I really enjoyed it. I hope you'll allow me to do it again. And I don't know how many things I'm allowed to say, but I would like to be a part of the after-school activities because I do teach voice, and I'd love to teach the children. I think all kids are interested in singing, and maybe we could do something with that. 2 other things. The speed is unbelievable on Chestnut Street coming down the hill, and I was wondering if council at some point, in order to help the police do their job, the poor guys are out there trying, that if you could put up a sign that says maybe park 25 miles an hour, like a school zone, so that people would really slow down. If you think that would help, park 20, just a suggestion. But
I don't think that we're permitted to put any signage on the road, is that correct, Chief? I mean, it's a state control signage on the road.
Forgive me, I'm sorry.
But
Okay.
perhaps the chief could call Handel.
I can contact the state.
Call your state
There's a
representative.
park
Maybe
entrance there,
just
certainly
seeing
that's a
the word would
legitimate,
make people slow down a little bit, because it's such a beautiful area. We have those beautiful deer, the beautiful wild turkeys, and the fox, and they're always crossing, and it would be a shame to lose them to some crazy driver out there.
I think that's probably your opinion on that.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
Well, I think they're lovely. I mean, I think they're beautiful. The
It's
other
on High
thing is,
Street.
I don't know, I was gonna ask the borough solicitor if a meeting, if the wording meeting constitutes that you must be here, because if you want to go on vacation, the hotels will now have Skype and you could have a meeting without even being here.
Well, actually, what the borough has done for a number of years is advertise in their annual, for the meetings every month, that participation by telephone is permitted.
Oh.
I've done it from the hospital.
Okay. The real reason I came up here is I want to tell you that the Carnegie gift shop officially opens the first Wednesday in January. We want to thank so much all of you that have stopped to encourage us. We've had a couple of sales already. The response is overwhelming. We're going to have our winter hours coincide with the Black Lamb and the Carnegie Antique Shop for Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 3. We will be increasing those hours in the spring. And Carol made it through a storm to come over and congratulate us, which was really nice. We tore down, I don't know how many people have been there. There's the coffee shop, then the medicine shop, and then that little Ukrainian deli, which has the greatest little Ukrainian food in there. And then us, those 3 big windows. And we already tore down the ugly, damaged aluminum over the top. The window, we replaced the panels underneath. And we've painted and cleaned inside. We want to be thought of as a nice, clean, and quaint shop with terrific values. Our sales are going to benefit local needs. We have a table right now for Meals on Wheels. We made money for them this weekend. We're putting one in for the Children's Committee next week. And much, of course, for the Carnegie Arts Initiative, who was our first funder. And in regard to the shop, and it's a shame he isn't here, we would really like to commend the code enforcer, Terry Roma, who came to inspect the shop. And it isn't often that a public servant takes the time to offer assistance in recommending changes that could be made in order for us to save space and still live up to code and save money for utilities. And he gave us suggestions on a lot of issues, and he was helpful, kind, knowledgeable, and of tremendous service to us. We know he's busy, but he took time out of his schedule not only to tell us what we needed to do to get up to code, but he explained why the measures were to our advantage. And would someone please tell him we appreciated his time and we would like to publicly express our gratitude to him. He was just really wonderful. And thank you.
Thank you.
Samantha, just 2 things. Speak on Chestnut, that's been a problem forever, but I know we just recently, the chief has started a traffic target initiative, and we hit that pretty hard about 2 to 3 weeks ago with about 5 officers. And you know, when we get the opportunity, we will continue to do that. But once again, that'll stop it for about maybe a day, 2 days, and then it revamps right back up. So one of the issues that I will I will bring to your attention is that we're the only state in the whole United States that is not allowed to use radar. Everything we use has to be VASCAR. So, there's one state, and it's us, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then to make it even more unfair is that there are over 2,000 municipalities in the state of Pennsylvania, and about 1,500 of those municipalities or less, or it might be a little bit less than 1,500, but there's about 1,000 difference between the two, are covered by the state police, and the state police are allowed to use radar. So some of the municipalities get the privilege of using radar, well, if they're covered by the state police, and those who have their own police force are not allowed to use radar. So it's really a problem here. The Mayor's Association is working very diligently to get that changed, and hopefully we can, because I think radar would be a big benefit in these areas. VASCAR is, while it is, we can use it, it's just more difficult to set up. You have limited areas where you can use VASCAR.
I see them out there trying, and it's just that, they have better things to do, and I thought maybe a sign up.
Yeah, no, I hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other comments? At this time, then we'll go around the table. I can't remember where I started last time. Did I start with you, Carol?
Did you start with me?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was a long
Okay,
time
well then
ago.
we'll start with you now.
Okay. Samantha stole my thunder. I was going to tell you about Please Shop in Carnegie and about her new business, but I didn't realize that you weren't going to be open until the 1st of January, or, after the 1st of
We're open
January.
Saturday for the cookie thing.
Okay, good. And hopefully, right across from Samantha, shortly there will be a new restaurant opening in December. And but please shop in Carnegie. There's a lot of little stores that have a lot of little great things. Joanne, I'm helter-skelter here. You can tell we were well prepared tonight. Is the moon full? When you guys were talking, I was wishing I'd put a song or something together to entertain. Joanne, your business mixer was wonderful. I wanted to publicly say that so more people will come the next time. It was a great evening, and I got to meet some new people, and it was just great. I want to thank everyone that helped me for the past events for the Carnegie Children's Events Committee. Santa Comes to Town, and for the Borough, the lighting and a Christmas tree. We still have a lot of good things we're trying to do for the holidays with the seniors and the homeless shelters, etc. And other than that, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, blessings in whatever you believe in. And I hope we all have a happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year. And with any kind of luck, we'll see you back in 2014. I'll be a year older, but that'll be okay too. So thank you again for everyone coming. I do want to say about Councilman Barris. He will be leaving us, and I'm one of these open and honest people. We have butted heads in the past, but when we agreed on something, we had each other's backs, and we agreed on it, and nothing was ever personal. But, we all have our moments where we're all like at each other, and we all have our moments where we all support each other. But he did an awful lot of work in 4 years, and it was excellent work, and I will tell him in person when I see him, but I did want to say publicly that it was good working with him for the past 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Denver.
I did want to talk about Bob too. Bob and I were on the school board for 6 years together, and then now on council for 4 years. And he does work hard. He has strong opinions, which are good, because that's why he works so hard on everything he's working on, I think. and I, for one, will miss him, so I just wanted to thank Bob for all his hard work, and I want to wish everybody blessed, happy holidays.
Bob right now, he just wants to thank you.
He was whistling that.
Councilman Katina?
Thank you, Mr. President. Interesting story. I was in Sam's Club this morning at 7:15, 7:30, trying to check out with about 50 hamps for my employees at work. And someone comes up and taps me on the shoulder, and it was a resident, obviously, and they said the Christmas tree looks so nice. The Christmas tree lighting was wonderful. It was such a nice event, what have you. And I just want to point out and thank two people for making that happen. Carol did a lot with the actual ceremony, but as far as getting the lights and such on the tree, I bet a lot of people don't realize that it was Bill Gardner and Mike Sarsfield that brought those lights on that tree, and it looks really, really nice. And hearing this at 7:15 this morning, I was just a little shocked. So, and like I said, as I was checking out of Sam's Club with my ham, so you did a nice job, Mike. Thank you. One council member outgoing, Bob Vieras. Bob's been a great guy. He's obviously been very opinionated over the years, and he's been a driving force. And even though like Carol and I, Bob and I didn't always see eye to eye on things, we argued a lot about things. We were both very passionate about things, but I'll truly miss Bob. Bob was an advocate for the residents of Carnegie, and he'll sorely be missed. But on that note, we welcome Phil Boyd to be our newest member of council, and Phil's a very dedicated individual. He's a great guy. You'll get to know him obviously a little bit more when he steps up here in January. So I just want to welcome you to the board, Phil. Thank you. And last but not least, just one other thing. At the last library board meeting, when we were having difficulties with the library, before Maggie came back, obviously, it was an uphill battle sometimes. And this past meeting, the ex officio members of Carnegie Council, Sue Demko, Rick, and myself, the ex officio members got our voting rights back to the library board. So we are now voting members of the library board. So I think that's a great thing for all of Carnegie, because that was a little bit of animosity, like I said, when we were struggling with the library, because some of the decisions, obviously, this council didn't agree with at that point in time. So, but it's all in the past, and we look forward to working with the library and making it a bigger and better place than ever. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Sarsfield?
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to first thank the mayor and Sandy Phillips, who on Thanksgiving, along with helping out down at the Carnegie Church, delivered meals to our police officers and to our medics. And I said it under public safety, these guys are not able to be with their families, but certainly the mayor and Sandy did their best to give them a Thanksgiving meal on Thanksgiving. And I wanted to thank the mayor and Sandy Phillips for that service. And also I wanted to thank Papa J's, who were open on Thanksgiving for those that can't be with their families, had a place to go and purchase from what I was told was a delicious meal. And all those proceeds that they made went to Make-A-Wish, which is a cause that's always been very near and dear to my heart. So I wanted to thank the owners of Papa J's for providing that. And I wanted to thank Bob Vieras, who was not only a colleague but a longtime friend. Me and Bob go back to the 90s when he had a business here on Main Street. We were involved in a lot of things: Crime Watch and the Lions Club, and many pancake and sausage brunches together, many early morning breakfasts together. So Bob wasn't just a colleague up here, but he was a near and dear friend. So I'll miss serving with him on his council, and I still hope to see Bob here in Bott. Whenever the meeting was getting stiff or kind of, Bob would always have some kind of punchline there that would kind of lighten the mood. So hopefully, Phil, you have a few jokes of your own that you'll be able to bring, and when the moments get tense, you'll be able to throw them little lines out there. But I thank Bob for his service, and I thank Phil for being willing to provide his future service to our borough. And finally, this time of the year, whether you're rich or poor, this time of the year brings some excitement, some belief that things will be better. And I hope that things continue to get better for our time here. And I hope that things get better for those that maybe were a little less fortunate this past year, that they become better fortunes, whether it be through health or happiness. I know I miss my parents very much at this time of year. I know when my mother was living, she always missed and always spoke of her mother and her family. But be thankful for what you have. And happiness doesn't always come through the means of money, but just being with the people that make you happy is most important. And I know for me, sitting up here serving the residents of our great borough makes me very happy. So I wish you all a happy holiday season, whether it's Christmas you celebrate or whatever holiday. Whatever God you may believe in. May you have a happy and healthy Christmas and New Year. See you next year.
Thank you. Just to mention that on your agendas, you'll see an item about Toys for Tots. We have an annual Toys for Tots collection downstairs in the Borough Building foyer. This is something that Carnegie does as well as anyone, if not better. Carnegie is always a very large collection page for Toys for Tots. We're proud of that. That is conducted by the Marine Corps Reserves. Light up night was, despite the weather, wonderful.
Thank you.
So thank you to Councilwoman Kobe, who came out in very bad weather, snow all over the place.
Chief told me I looked like a snow bunny. I was covered.
Yes.
Just let me say, I called President DeLoss a wimp because he brought an umbrella.
Yes. Well, I didn't know if it would be raining or snowing, so I brought an umbrella. I'm sorry. You can call me a wimp. I'm still your boss, at least for the rest of the month.
I called the chief something too, but he told me it was okay, he still loved me, but mine wasn't as nice as Wim.
Thank you to Bill Gardner and Mike Sarsfield for getting the lights. They look great. Last year, we had problems with the lights and we had some complaints, and the lights look great. And so thank you both to Mike and Bill for doing that. Mentioning again both the performance of council during this past year. We're finishing the year now. Many accolades to Councilman Veras. If you've been attending these meetings, you know that he could be very passionate about his positions, and that's a good thing. Sometimes it appears to be a conflict, serious issues amongst council members, but this is the nature of democracy. I mean, if everybody agreed on everything, we wouldn't need to be doing this. So it's very important that everyone have their opinions and represent their constituents, speak passionately and hold firm convictions on what they believe. And this council has done an excellent job of working through those differences and coming to resolution in a very professional manner. So I'm very pleased with the behavior of council this year. I thank everyone on council for a wonderful year, and looking forward to a very good year coming up. This was an election year, so we do have a new council member, as we mentioned several times. Councilman Katina and myself were sentenced to another 4 years this past month, so we will be here as well. But in January, because it is the January after an election, council members will meet in workshop to select their president, vice president, committee members for the next 2 years, and that will happen in the first week of January. So, that being said, wish everybody a good rest of 2013 and a very healthy and happy 2014. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.